and Neptune.
Yeah.
You remember Earth?
Oh, Earth. Hey, isn't that the one with all the Mendozas?
I mean, I have a feeling it's about to have less, but yes.
Well, good thing we're beating up that planet.
So New York State has an opportunity to legalize marijuana.
Yeah?
Well, they have proposals in the Assembly and the Senate, and the Senate is just a proposal that says see Assembly's proposal. So if both pass, they get thrown to the governor. It's just a matter of legislation period ends.
Oh, and he'd have to put his money where his mouth is, right?
Yep, although he said he will sign it if it gets to him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He said he'd sign it.
Yep, and seems to have taken the whip to them this last week, saying, anyone who fails to hit my top 10 list, which includes marijuana legalization, should be primaried. So,
get bodied.
He's definitely done a face turn.
Yeah, I don't think you should strong arm people like that, but this is New York, and okay.
I had my doubts until I found that, and then I was like, holy shit, Cuomo! All right, you came to play. So yeah, they have till Wednesday to get votes in the Senate and Assembly and get it passed to the governor's desk, where he will sign it. If it doesn't happen on Wednesday, then they'll have to wait until basically next spring to bring it up and do the entire process over again. Because after Wednesday, politicians get the forever off.
Oh, what? So, working in the government around here is only a half-year thing?
Yeah. From what I can tell, it's a 3-month thing. But
Savage, I gotta get me elected. Maybe I'll get in a fist fight.
So yeah, I definitely cracked off an email to Santa Barbara and Tonko, just being like, hey, I support this. You should too. Or at least don't stand in the way. Santa Barbara seems to be all about it. Tonko's a dick. I mean, they're going to have to push real hard, and there's definitely an anti-marijuana lobby working against it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people don't like money.
Yeah. Or have money and don't want other people to have money.
Oh yeah, there's always that.
Their tactic is to say, oh, we don't want another big tobacco with big marijuana, but I don't see it forming up like that anymore. Big tobacco definitely had some advantages that were around in the 1800s that they used to leverage to the point where they are now. Marijuana would be starting out with disadvantages.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I would never discount the possibility of something reaching that level, because all things are the same, really, when you talk about any kind of business.
Well,
it could become big, whatever. The point is that you should keep it from becoming that.
Yeah.
And if you really want to, love this kind of thing and nurture this kind of industry and this kind of community, then that's what you really have to focus on, is making sure it doesn't outpace the people that supported it.
Well, yeah. And I think Bill's got good enough regulation chops that it's not going to be some giant industry thing. It's going to be a bunch of small crafts people to start with. As long as you're sticking with, that's what's been tearing apart the alcohol industry, too, is just small craft breweries and craft people going, you know what, we don't need to be a Budweiser. We'll just produce good beer in small quantities.
I'm going to make another wrestling metaphor here. That's exactly what I think Triple H is trying to do.
Oh.
All by his lonesome. Because what he does is send one of his popular tag teams over to Progress in England.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And they're not WWE. I guess Triple H just likes Progress.
Sounds like.
They have a deal,
Well, that puts him ahead of Vince McMahon, who is all against Progress of any type.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway. But I think what he's trying to do is encourage more indie scenes, because that's what made wrestling good in the first place.
Yeah.
Before WWE, you had, Jim Crockett in the South, and you had this other guy up here and that other guy over there. You had Mid-Ohio, whatever, right?
Yeah, it turns out if you do small, intricate things that each have their own life, they'll produce more robust results rather than being one homogeneous giant thing that, doesn't have the agility to actually work with individual markets.
And doesn't have the competition required to make it better.
Yeah, it's video games. AAA video games suck. They just do. I mean, I'm psyched for Borderlands 3, but I just replayed Borderlands 2 for their new content, and I was realizing how meh it is compared to, I don't know, almost anything else we played, like Payday, or...
Yeah. And speaking of other things we've played, and games like Payday and games like Borderlands, remember when we were talking about microtransactions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that point, what you're saying, when it gets too big, when it gets too homogenous.
Yeah.
There's always that point where you can say it crossed the line, it got too big.
Mm-hmm.
When video games did that, it's when they gave you crates that you got to pay $250 to unlock.
Fuck that shit. But, yeah.
Hi, here's a key to get pixels. Thanks for $250. Get the hell out of here.
As long as the marijuana industry in New York State stays small and agile and relies on the passion of small creators and craftspeople, I think it's going to be a good thing. And I think that will probably have more power in keeping a big evil corporation from in check. And there's a lot of passion in that community for small self-grown strains and sharing of knowledge that the tobacco industry does not benefit from. And that makes it much harder to industrialize marijuana in that same way. It's just
because if you industrialize marijuana in that way, then you will just as a result get fewer strains.
Yeah.
What happens to weed? What could happen? What did happen to bananas?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a way to kill a crop.
That old banana got sick and died, and then we had to move to the new bananas that we know today.
Yeah.
I forget their names. There's names for those bananas.
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. And now almost every banana is just a clone of, well, not a clone, but of the same exact strain, to the point where they're susceptible to the same diseases. So it's like one is going to take out so many.
Yeah, but as a business that gets bigger, of course that's going to happen, because then you can be regular. You can regulate and standardize how you take care of your crop across the board, and that's why it's a good thing for a big business. So I guess I support, in that sense, medium-sized businesses.
Yeah, I mean,
one guy that does that just in the Northeast with just one strain, and there's a lot of little ones that also do it.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the other thing. As you have a larger operation, you will find new and innovative ways to improve quality and quantity of production, which is useful all around. It's just having the smaller people being able to buy and take advantage of those new advancements in technology will lead to more robust and entertaining results than keeping it locked up behind a giant corporation.
Yeah, but with that larger corporation could come more cost, because let's face it, this is New York State. There will be taxes on that kind of thing, and a larger corporation could manage those taxes and those technologies and those strains. But hopefully that, I mean, it's New York State, it's going to happen, but hopefully what's going to happen is what kind of happened in Oregon.
Oh, what happened in Oregon?
What happened in Oregon, the news I hear from out there is that you can get a lot of weed very cheaply.
I love it.
Yeah. And it's like you can't give it away kind of stuff, because everyone out there has been growing their own forever and a day, so they all got boutique little strains, and it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
And since it's the West Coast, there's always weed traveling up and down and all around. So you have every variety and every kind and every price level of the devil's lettuce. And then eventually people are like, I can go over my next door neighbor and he's got X, Y, and Z.
That sounds amazing. So what I hear is I need to move to Oregon, months ago.
There's I go play Magic on Fridays, and there's a player there, and she's gonna move back to Washington soon.
Oh,
just looking forward to that, because she still gets the emails from the dispensaries out there.
Well, you can smell the smoke in the air. And if you're hearing what I'm hearing, then you know it's time for next time. An Oberon and Neptune beat up the planet. Maybe something else?
The wind howled at the washboard, sleeping underneath